By the time we get to the fall of Beitar and the end of the Bar Kokhba revolt, we see that the Jewish people have rebelled more against the Romans than any other people in the history of the Roman Empire. And the Romans had pretty much had it with the Jews. So the Jews were being persecuted. Rabbis couldn't teach Torah. But one of the most vicious things the Romans did was attempt to eradicate the Jewish people by cutting us off from our connection to our national homeland. When Pompey, the Roman general, came to Israel in 63 BCE, and Israel became part of the Roman Empire, it was known as the Roman province of Judea, after the Jews. But what the Romans did after Bar Kokhba was rename the entire country Philistia, after the extinct Philistines, that seafaring people that had come way before the Romans and settled on the coast of Israel. You can read about them interacting with the Jews in the book of Judges and King David, but they disappeared 2,500 years ago. Hundreds and hundreds of years before the Romans came to Israel, the Philistines were nothing but a memory in the collective consciousness of historians, but long since gone. But the name Philistines survived, and the Romans, in an attempt to cut the Jewish people off from our homeland, the most basic connection a people has is with their country, renames the country. No longer it will be Judea, with a Jewish-sounding name. Now it'll be Philistia, or as the word is metamorphosized until today, Palestine. They rename all the cities in the country non-Jewish names. Jerusalem becomes Aelia Capitolina, Aelia after Hadrian, Capitolina, the capital. And it's rebuilt as a pagan Roman city, where Jews aren't even allowed to enter. Irony of ironies, the first Judenrein city, that Judenrein was a term used by Hitler to Jew-free world. The first Judenrein city ever in the world, as far as I know, was Jerusalem in the 2nd century after Bar Kokhba. They even renamed the cities of Israel non-Jewish names. The city of Shechem, up north, where Joseph is buried, was renamed Naples, which is a Latin version of the Greek word Neapolis, new city. And again, an attempt to cut off the connection. Today, Arabs can't pronounce P, so they call it Nablus. But it's interesting, as we've seen so many times before, that the patterns of the past are repeated until today. Just as that term, Philistia, was put in by the Romans to deny the Jewish people the connection, to cut us off from our homeland, and hopefully lead to our disappearance, so too today in the modern Middle East, we have the exact same repetition of the idea of a Palestinian nation who is claiming that this is their homeland, that the Jewish people are a foreign occupier, that they're the indigenous population. And it's a scary parallel. Same motivation back then, same today. And it's led to a huge amount of disinformation and a huge amount of lack of clarity, even in the world today, about the historic connection of the Jewish people to the land of Israel.